Welcome to Midcard Maniacs. I'm Jay.
And I'm John.
And today we're going to talk about Britt Baker. Is it time for her to become AEW Women's Champ? Yeah. So recently, Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa squared off in a lights-out, unsanctioned match as the first women's main event on Dynamite in AEW history, and it was absolutely incredible. They showed up, they kicked the shit out of each other. Britt was bleeding all over the place. Once again, always love to see it. Makes for a good new shirt. It's like the Becky Lynch effect a little bit. Thunder Rosa ended up walking away with the victory there, but they both looked like absolute beasts. And when thinking about Britt Baker and where she was even just a year ago, but 2 years ago, coming into AEW as, like the peppy baby face that nobody was quite getting behind, that was frankly part of a lot of botches. I remember like some botches with B. Priestley, and she's really turned around. Do you think she is now ready to be the women's champ?
I don't think so. And this is my reasoning behind it. As much as I feel that yes, I could see her as the champ, I think they have the female equivalent of MJF and Adam Hangman Page here, where they don't need to win the title right now. They're young, they're main eventers in themselves, and you can run with this and make her win seem like way up there when it actually happens. Because right now, she is on top of the world. She is the women's wrestler who should be main eventing, but she doesn't need the title to main event.
Fair. You have a really good point here. And I totally get that. And I think because of Britt's kind of like being a heel, if you look at her interactions either on Twitter or just with other wrestlers from a promo to promo basis, she thinks she deserves the title. She's always complaining about how she doesn't have an action figure yet, and how she was the first woman signed for AEW, and that she should have it. And the longer that she has to wait, the better the story will be, because she's gonna get more and more heated and more aggressive and start to run through the whole division, even more so than she already does, to prove like, okay, give me my goddamn title shot. I want that belt.
When we look at the feuds that she's had probably some of the more standout feuds in AEW's history when it comes to the women's division, and it's only gonna grow from there, especially how much the women's division has grown. Can you imagine if Anna Jay was healthy right now and that's who she's going after? Like just someone like that who people are really starting to like get behind and love as like a face, and just tear her down. Like her job right now is to be like, you really like this wrestler? Like social media all over, like, oh, you're a big fan of this person? Well, I'm gonna put an end to that, and that's how she works her way up.
Oh, that's what she did with Yuka. Poor little Sakazaki, our magical girl. The sweetest, most innocent person. Sorry, Macie, but she's the cutest in the world. And what Britt did to her still pains me to this day. I think about it all the time. There's gonna be more people, unfortunately, that will face the wrath of Britt Baker and her disgusting, weird move of sticking her fingers in her mouth. I didn't like the mandible claw back in the day either, but I will say, this is like a complete aside, Mick Foley giving her props on doing like a hardcore match. When she did her little promo, she was wearing like a red and black flannel around her waist while saying,
"Thanks for the thumbs up." Except it took you 20 years to become a hardcore legend, and I did it in one night.
That's how you get heat. Okay, so if she's not ready, I'd be fine with her winning right now. If Sheeta and her go head-to-head at Double or Nothing, I'm totally down with a change. I think that somebody else could probably step in, like Ty Conti could be the next champ. Who knows? But if we want to see Britt Baker squash some baby faces, who's next, I guess? That's what's tough.
Because you can't go with Thunder Rosa. And I think that is like the last match before she gets to the title. It's like coming full circle. And right before, like, she builds up all this momentum, and then that's the final feud, either to take the title off her, because like if Thunder Rosa is the champion at some point, all of a sudden you have this like, I've just run through the whole roster, I deserve it, and then Thunder Rosa, but you haven't beat me. And then that's where you get that moment, and it's just the long build.
Yeah, and I think that this is probably what's gonna happen, because that's probably why Thunder Rosa won. There was no reason for Thunder Rosa to win. She's over as hell. Britt is a supreme heel, and that's the only reason why. So yeah, I want it to happen. We'll get this in a year from now. But who knows? She could win in a couple months.
You never know what could happen, like, especially with the pandemic and how things have been going, the wrestlers could be put on the shelf just in like a blink of an eye, like between injuries and everything, that other wrestlers need to step up. My biggest fear is because she's so good right now that once she has the championship, when she loses it, where do you go from there? If you compare a story kind of to like Becky Lynch in WWE, well, Becky got it all, then what? And that's what you don't want to have. You don't want to have that then what? You want to have her build up to a point where she gets the title, and even though she loses the title, she still has that main event status and that like personality that people are like, I want to see who she's going to beat up next.
So as much as we might want her to have the title at some point, now is not the time. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. I know this is probably a hot take. I think everybody likes Britt Baker and wants a title on her, but let us know your thoughts. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with everything Midcard Maniacs.